Hi, for those of you guys seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Esmeralda, but most people like to call me Esme. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be opening up to you guys about my anxiety, telling you guys how it has affected my life and how I've been able to deal with it over the past few years. So the purpose of this video is not for you guys to feel sorry for me or for you guys to pity me, because I know that so many people deal with anxiety daily. I truly believe that anxiety affects every person differently. So I have been wanting to film this video since like last October or November, and I never got to do it because it's really hard for me to open up and be vulnerable, especially online. But as some of you guys may know, May is actually the month of mental health awareness, and so I thought that it would be the perfect time to film this video, especially with everything going around in the world. And I'm not filming this video because my anxiety has gone away. I don't think that it will ever go away. Honestly, I feel like I'm just gonna have to learn to deal with my anxiety day by day. And although some days are better than others, I have found some tips that have helped me deal with my anxiety better than I have in the past years. So the goal of this video is to help one or two people and make them feel like they're not alone, and give you guys some tips on how to reduce your anxiety. So let's just get started. So ever since I was little, I've always dealt with anxiety, and I think when I was younger, the main cause of my anxiety was just being a perfectionist. So like in school, I've always been so tough on myself on making sure that I always give it my best. As I've grown older, I have found myself finding like different sources that have been causing my anxiety. So I actually pulled out my notebook for this video because I have written down some notes to make sure I don't forget to say anything. So the first thing that I've noticed that has caused a lot of anxiety in my life is being on social media a lot. So even before quarantine and everything, I have always been somebody who has used social media a lot, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I've just always been on social media a lot. But by being on social media a lot, I tend to start viewing people's lives and then comparing it to mine, which is not good, because then I start wishing that I'm able to travel to certain places, and then I start to notice that I may not be able to because of school or because of work or because I don't have enough money to, and then I start, being tough on myself. Also then comparing relationships that people have, and then wishing that I had a boyfriend or something like that, and then also seeing friendships that people have and how they display them online and stuff, and then I compare that to the friendships I have. But then I've come to learn that we have to realize that people tend to choose and pick what they want to post on social media, and so most people only post the positives of their lives, and we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes of those photos. And I've seen so many influencers, other YouTubers talk about this and actually open up about their lives and how not everything that they post defines their life overall. And ironically enough, I found a quote on Twitter a couple of days ago, and basically the quote said, "Social media has ruined everything: standards, mindsets, goals, society." For instance, I feel like social media has changed people's perspectives on what's important in life. For example, people only focusing on the number of followers they have, the number of likes they get. And going along with the social media aspect, so by being on social media, I tend to get anxiety from comparing myself to others, and not in the aspect of the way that they live their lives, but in the way that somebody looks. So when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I tend to compare myself to the way that girls look or the way that they dress, and that then lowers my self-esteem a lot, which increases my insecurities and then brings in more anxiety. So that's just another way that social media has caused anxiety in my life, as a teenager or as an adult. And then another point that I have on here is that my anxiety tends to cause me to overthink a lot. I second guess myself a lot, which is not good. And then whenever something goes wrong in my relationships, whether it's with my family, my friends, or I'm talking to a guy and they stop talking back to me, I always blame myself. I always question what I did wrong, which is totally not right. And I feel like this is totally unhealthy, because then I tend to question my actions and everything, which then causes more anxiety. So then this then turns into like an over-occurring cycle of anxiety, which is not good at all. So some ways that I've learned to deal with my anxiety is doing monthly social media detoxes. And I actually got this idea from Just Conti. I don't know if you guys know her. She's another YouTuber. She's actually one of my favorite YouTubers. And basically she sets aside a day in a month, and in that day she doesn't go on any types of social media. She doesn't use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok. So I started doing that. I think I've done it for like 3 months already, and wow, like that has really helped me. So what I do is that I turn off all the notifications from any social media apps that I want to be off for the day. I've been doing it for Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and then I don't receive any notifications. And I feel like every time that I receive a notification from a social media platform, I tend to feel like this, not anxiety, but I feel like we all experience it. Like when you receive a notification, you kind of just like jump to it instantly. And so having those notifications turned off has just like allowed me to be more at peace. And while I was in school and I was doing these social media detoxes, it honestly really helped me focus on my schoolwork, which was really helpful. And I also think it's extremely important during this time to not spend so much time on social media, because personally, when everything started going on, I was, so caught up with all the media and news, and then I started thinking the worst of everything, which really wasn't doing me much good. So I would really recommend that you guys might consider doing these monthly social media detoxes. I know it's only once a month, but my goal is to start doing it more frequently, maybe once a week, take a day off and just not go on social media at all. So another thing that I found that has helped me with my anxiety is exercising, and especially during quarantine, I've started exercising at home. While I was still doing online classes, I didn't really have much time because I was also working from home, and by the time I was done with everything, I was just like exhausted, mentally and physically. So now that the semester has ended, I have more time to exercise, and I have also ordered some more equipment to do exercises at home so that I get more motivated, because I feel like it's really hard to stay motivated during this time. And so I feel like if I spend some money on some exercising equipment, it'll help me invest more time into exercising. And so another thing that I've learned is that society has always taught people to always be productive, and I've also seen people talking about how we should always be productive during this time in quarantine, whether it's finding a new hobby or if you're working from home, like making sure that you have like a nice workspace or making sure that you're cleaning. But I feel like it's so hard to be productive when you're stuck at home, or for those of you who have lost your jobs and you don't have the option to work from home, and then you're so unmotivated because of everything that's happening. So I feel like sometimes just setting time aside for yourself is really good for your mental health. So whether it's spending time watching your favorite movies or binge watching a series or just having like a self-care night, I feel like that would really help people with their anxiety, instead of always trying to be productive, because sometimes you just can't, and you have to take a break. You have to pause from life and just spend time with yourself. I feel like if you spend time with yourself and just relaxing, it really helps and pays off at the end of the day. So my advice is just to not be so hard on yourself sometimes, because everyone has those days where they just need some time alone. Another thing I would suggest is to distract yourself with things you enjoy. Some of the things that I enjoy doing when I'm at home is listening to music, filming videos for you guys, and spending time outside, in my backyard. Just a few days ago, I was in my backyard for a couple of hours, and it really helped me relax. It also boosted my energy and just made me feel a lot happier, honestly. Like being outside really helped me be in a better mood. And lastly, cooking. Some of you guys might not enjoy cooking, but personally, I have really enjoyed finding new recipes online. So lastly, one thing I want to point out is that turning to my faith and praying has really helped me with my anxiety, and it has also brought me closer to my family. Spending time together praying has just really helped us become closer, and this is something I've been working on over the past few years, not just during this quarantine time, but just trying to grow closer to God has honestly really helped me reduce my anxiety and honestly just learn to focus on what's more important in life. So I truly hope that this video helps you guys reduce your anxiety in any way and just focus on what's more important in life. And I also hope it gives you more of an insight on my life, on who I am. And if you guys have any suggestions for each other on how you deal with your own anxiety, please make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I feel like it would really help a lot of us, even me. So I would really appreciate if you guys shared your tips. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!